Thank you. Hey everyone, my name is Charles. I'm an addict. I'm grateful to be clean today and grateful to be here. This, I can say home group. This home group has a special place for me in my heart. And this is the meeting that I always turn back to. And oh well, one of the reasons for it is because we have speakers and most times I can hide away in this meeting, because there's always speakers, there's people raising hands, there's something always going on here in this meeting. And of course, the love and the care that this meeting exemplifies for me. When I was asked to share here again, and I was joking around with the person that asked me. Well, that person is actually my sponsor now. So I said, I think it could be an East meets West record for be speaking for 4 90-day panels. And this is the 4th one. I was saying, oh, I really don't want to do it, man. But he said, Charles, just share. Just share your story. There's nothing more else to share. Share what happened to you the last 90 days. That's all. Maybe, just maybe, could give hope for someone that could relate to me. But in 10 days, in 12 days actually, I remember clearly when I walked into the rooms, came to the online. It was during the pandemic. It was 26th of April 2021. So that's in a couple of weeks. That will be close to 4 years. And like I mentioned, it's my 4th 90-day panel. I've been in and out for the last 4 years. Of course, there's some experience gain for me to keep coming back, because when I first walked in, it made sense. Of course, I didn't understand quite a whole lot what you guys were saying. And me being brought up in a particular religion, it felt a little, probably they're doing quite similar to what I used to believe when I was much younger. But the more important part of it was people were sharing my story. They were like, these people must have known something. They must know something about me. And I truly believed, okay, this is home. This is where I can finally. That time I didn't know the word recovery. I didn't know the word spiritual principles. I thought it's just somewhere where we just go and share and we get maybe get clean. I didn't know the steps. I didn't know I needed to get sponsored, but I could relate to the few stories that I heard at that time. And I went off and started coming back a little bit more rigorously. It took a relapse, of course, to okay, let me get my act together and start doing the things that these people are talking about. So fast forward to now. And also, when asked to speak yesterday, I didn't really feel that nervous at all. It felt like, okay, I'm going to do it again. And I stopped preparing for shares for a long time already. But as soon as started the meeting, another friend referenced, don't worry, Charles, by the time the speaker gets to share, it'll be 20 minutes. So, because we do clean time celebrations here, there's a lot of things going on. So I thought, okay, it's going to take some time. But today, when I was sitting down and just waiting, it just felt so quick. And I coupled with me being nervous. But yeah. Easy, about 4 months ago, maybe a little before after that, I celebrated the 1 year clean run last year. And then I had to deal with my mom's passing. Yeah. I think as soon as she passed, I started making lesser meetings. More importantly, I got to less physical meetings. And I'm a person that, when it's good, I'll show up. I'm happy to share to someone a piece of me when things are going well. But as soon as something is not good, or when I made a mistake, or my feelings, negative feelings, sadness, I tend to go back into my shell. I tend to not share those out because I very rarely would want to appear vulnerable in front of people, feel uncomfortable in front of people. I don't like showing that part of me because Charles wants to be accepted and loved and by everyone. Nobody should not like me. Everybody should like me. But when I show this part of me, people may run away, or people may say, "What?" So that's something that I always held back. And even I myself, when someone, I only want to hear your good stories. Don't come and share with me all your sadness, this and that. Especially when I was much when you were getting high. Take your bullshit home, man. What's the point? I came here to enjoy. I just want to have fun, and I just want to hear good stories. But that's not life. Life is both good and bad. And how can I remain on this getting high and getting happy for the rest of my life? Now when I look back, it's something so stupid and impossible. Going through life for me is going through its ups and downs. I used to use when I'm happy and when I'm sad. Everything was one of course was a celebration. One was actually to suppress the feelings. So I needed to be something else, not feel the thing that I'm feeling, because I just didn't know how to sit with my feelings and stay. I thought I had to run faster or run away or get away or do something about what I'm feeling. More and more, I'm figuring it out that I don't need to do anything actually. I can just sit still and not as much as go in a pity mode or romance the good thoughts, not as much as that, but just probably just I still haven't. I'm still not good at it, and I still haven't learned to accept the feeling, sit down with it, and then let it go. That's something that I think it takes a lot of practice. But if I don't give myself practice, how am I going to do it? Yeah. That's where that's also one of my struggles. But I remember also during that period, just before hitting 1 year, there's a good friend of mine in recovery. We still chat. At that time, what he told me was, Charles, do you think recovery is fueled by fear or faith? In that moment, I was in a Narcotics Anonymous, I would say, I was an upward trajectory. I was doing service. I was doing everything Narcotics Anonymous wanted. And I was feeling very good about myself, about my program and everything. I was just hitting 1 year. Basically, I was high with NA. So I just nonchalantly just responded to him and said that, fear, I don't think you can use fear in recovery or Narcotics Anonymous. It's always faith, and it's always faith for me. And faith is real and fear is fake. That kind of nonsense. Already on the surface, like response, I sent it to him, and that's it. And then when I was out of the rooms, and of course relapsed, and I got caught by the drug enforcement agency here in our country. I think. And I just wanted at that time. I just wanted to get clean, and I got caught after I was clean for a few days, and I still had drugs in my system. But that's the early part of this night, 100 over days for me. And right after that, a week, he messaged the same message again. At this time, he didn't message. He actually called me and asked, "Charles, did you remember the conversation we had last year?" I said, "Yeah." What was about it again? Fear versus faith in recovery. Ah, well, I think I have a totally different perspective now with fear. Previously I never regarded fear as had any use in my life because I thought I had to be fearless. I had to just have complete and utter faith of this program and Narcotics Anonymous in order for it to work. But that's impossible for me. So fear for me today is necessary when sometimes I just don't have faith. I know I could fake it, but that doesn't work for me. It's okay for me to be fearful for today. It's okay for me because a lot of wrong things can happen. I may not have 100 very strong faith or 100% faith on that particular day. I just may have a bad day. Or I could get into an accident or something I may not have, something wrong may happen for that particular day whereby I would not have faith for the day. I could rely on fear. The fear for me is that I don't want to get caught again. I don't want to go penniless again. I don't want to be asking money people in the streets, and I don't want to do all this shit again. And sorry, I got cursed. Sorry. I don't want to go back there again. That is something that I can use when I don't have the faith. I used to think that this is all not, it's not important. I shouldn't have all this. But that's where I am now. I'm a little, not totally fearless. I'm a little bit more afraid of what could happen to me. And that's being human, not a Superman for me. I love portraying a superhero figure. And I could remember, I think I'd shared this before. Growing up, I was an only child. So I didn't have any brothers and sisters. Of course, I had cousins and friends who come along once in a while. So I used to sit down and I had a lot of action figures back then. We were not that rich growing up, but then my dad just gave me everything. Everything that I asked for, it was at home. So I used to create narratives with that action figures that I had and this and that. And when someone comes to the house, little kids, I would teach them, okay, this is the story, this is how it's going to be. This is your character, this is your action figure. Try to control the whole the narrative for that whole time. So, I always want things according to my head, to my plan. And if something just veered off a little bit, I get agitated, I get angry, and I was like, such and such is doing a not so good job. And of course, I get a little rattled because I cannot handle when things doesn't go my way. And that's another feeling I don't want to sit with. And that's also maybe projecting in my head growing up that everything that I ask for, I'm given. Everything will go right. Because my parents, even up until my working, I think actually only when they passed, they shielded me from everything. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They loved their only child and they did all they can to support and love their son, their one and only son. And they tend to give me everything that they didn't have. So, and I appreciate them for them. And I think about them now. Oh man, oh my God, I really miss them. I don't say that much often because I want to still portray things are okay, things are fine now, I'm independent, I'm doing well. But no, I really, really bloody miss them every day of my life. I really wish that they could be here for me. Not for me, with me. And really miss them. But all I can say now is, hope they could. Nah, probably I don't need to hope for anything. All I can do now is just stay clean one day at a time and just be a good person, try to help the next person. And that's all I can do for today. And where else? Uh, oh, yes, today had one of the exercises that my sponsor. We are going through the informational pamphlets at the moment. Or before that, when I walked in, I had a chat with a member who was visiting, who is also part of this home group. I don't see him nowadays often. Then I was sharing with him, hey, this is what happened to me. And I was sharing to him that, I was in this particular street and a homeless man gave me food. Then he looked at me, Charles, you've been struggling for a while now. When a homeless man turns around and gives you food, that you already know you've already hit the rock. There's no lower where to go. So, get your act together, come. And that he is the one that spurred me to go to the Pattaya convention in, I think, a couple of months ago. And I went and I really had a really good time. My first convention in, I see the time, 2 minutes, my first ever convention. And I really loved it. And that's another fear that I would like to incorporate in my life. Just sort of a reminder, not living in fear for the rest of my life, but sort of a reminder that, okay, that's how it was, Chelsea. You can use that to not go back again. So yeah, me and my sponsor are working on the IPs at the moment. And one of the things that he had me made do is to write my dreams, which I actually just flipped and opened yesterday because I realized, oh my God, there's so many things that I already fulfill. And one of the things was I actually want to coach futsal. Futsal is indoor soccer indoor soccer, 5-a-side indoor soccer for children, because I used to do that so many years ago. Just one of the persons that I know called and, hey, do you want to do that again? I really didn't want to do it again. I thought maybe I just should focus on recovery. That I thought this is also recovery for me, going out and doing service in the outside world, meeting old friends, not necessarily using friends, people that are actually in the same industry with. So I went and I assisted to coach the kids. I didn't take the whole session. So that of course I'm able to think that dream is done. But one of the most beautiful moments at that training session was one of the boys' shoelaces were untied. And then, of course, they have tapped on the little boy, hey, your shoelaces. Then he turned around and pointed his shoe at me and asked me to tie shoes. Then I got down and tie shoelace and, sent him away. That was a really beautiful moment for me because people didn't want to have their children in front of me. My friend also, very close friend, remarked once to me, hey, do you know you have all this sickness and we all are now all gotten married, we have children, you have to be very careful with children. And I got so sad when he said that. But now, with all the other parents there and with a child just turning around and had me tie his shoelace down. I'm not a father of any sorts, acknowledge. I'm not a father. I don't have any, because I just love children. I love to see them getting better in sports. That's one of my dreams as well. So when the child did that, it really made me feel good inside. Sorry, I didn't share much what's around for the last 9 days, but a lot of you seen me the last 9 days. I make a meeting every day. For me, Charles has to make a meeting every day. I'm not like others that maybe make once a week. For me, I had to make this meeting, I'll make another meeting. For me, Charles has to call his sponsor every day. For me, Charles has to talk recovery. I've got a few close friends that are logged in today. You guys are dearest to me, and of course, members in this meeting as well. And thank you for giving me love. I don't believe in myself. And I'll finish up with this line. Thank you for believing in me. Just for today, I believe someone in NA. I have no, I forgot the line. I'm butchering it, but it's okay. The belief that you guys give me spurs me in my recovery today, as I could never believe in myself. Thank you. My name is Charles, and I'm an addict.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
I was waiting for that.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Charles. All right, that's still